Hi everyone, I'm
Okay.
Sri Devi from 3rd CSCC. Today I'm here to do a case study with my senior. She's Pratyusha and she is currently working as a software engineer in one of the prominent IT technologies, which is DXC technology. So, hi sister,
Hi, Sri. How are you?
fine, what about you?
Yeah, I'm fine too.
So, let's start our discussion with a basic question. So, could you please
Okay.
share your experience from the ELCS lab?
ELCS lab is one of my favorite lab in engineering labs. Of course, after my core labs, um, I am from Triple department.
Okay,
Um, in ELCS lab helped me in so many ways. I can't list down everything in chronological way, but one of the thing it helped me most is with communication and with and it also helped me to develop the thinking capability. Because English is not our first language, right? So
right.
if there is a concept, we first think in our mother tongue in Telugu, and then we try to convert that into English and try to communicate it. And it takes lot of processing time. So uh, you can't respond as fast as you can in English, as fast in Telugu. Like you can respond faster in Telugu to a situation very well rather than in English. And one thing ELCS lab helped me is to increase that processing speed, to control that processing speed, to limit the time of conversion of language. And another thing it helped me, one thing I love about being in that lab is how allows me to interact with different people, different students, with different ideologies, and to interact with them in different concepts like political and also like social, economical, and also study wise in even in different subjects. Every week we get a new concept to discuss, to debate about, or to give a jam session about, like to talk about it for a minute. And we also get opportunity to make a presentation on topics we love. So presentation is one of the concept I really appreciate very much, because it gives as much as time, like 10 to 20 minutes, to talk about one single thing and to work on it for a week, so we can in- do all the research and understand the concept. And when we're on the stage, we don't need to be scared, because everyone in front of us is as equal as us, and there are classmates and their friends, and our teachers are at our back, so there is no need to be scared. And once you start doing those kind of things in an environment where you doesn't need to be scared and doesn't need to be afraid of, eventually you grow into enough confident that you can do that in front of anyone, you know um and the other thing it helped me is with my interviews is, no, it helped me, it taught me, like, we have this continuous discussions about interview, how we present ourselves, the dress code, and the archetypes and everything. So yeah, that's a pretty good lab, I think.
So, as you talk about the communication skills, right?
Yeah.
So, which activity do you interested most about improving your communication skills?
Uh, to improve our communication skills in a daily basis, I think debate is one of the good thing. Uh, it's a fantastic process to improve not only communication skills but also competent capacity, competitive ability, because it's a competition, right? You're debating with some person, you're not discussing things. You have this eagerness to win the debate, and also reasonability to, like, present yourself confident and you know reasonable enough. And at the same time, you're also processing the point of view and opinions of other person, and you're trying to counter them with your own intelligence. So that process is a very good process to develop not only communication skills but also like how to communicate with people, like, with different people,
Okay.
and how to react to different emotions of the other people. Like in debate, sometimes it gets pretty. heated, the other
Hmm.
person might get pretty um like uh, some heated moments might come. So you kind of understand like what if in real life this kind of situation comes, how to deal with it. So that's a pretty good thing. Yeah. And a jam is a pretty good thing. I think you just get a 1 minute to talk about anything. So it helps you to be accurate and faster. Yeah.
Okay.
What is
Uh,
your favorite thing?
yeah, I like mostly group discussions in LCS lab.
Okay.
We need to interact with other people, na? So in these
Yeah.
group discussions, we have the more chances to interact with others. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, since I'm
To
in
be
third
honest,
year,
you can't yeah, to be honest, you can't really pick one activity because every activity in that lab focuses on different things. Like debate focuses on like winning capacity and like faster counter reacting, everything
okay,
it focuses. And group discussion helps you to like combine with your peers, like how to
okay,
appreciate their opinions. And like jam helps you to be faster, and presentation
okay,
helps you to be more deeper. Like every single thing helps you to develop a different ability, so you can't really pick and choose, I think. Yeah.
okay. So recently, since I'm in third year, recently I came up with a task like preparation of resume.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So could you suggest me few tips for making the effective resume?
Yeah, I think one of the major issue for every third year of engineering student is like preparation of resume. That's a very difficult task because you until at that moment you live in this small pool of college and atmosphere, and suddenly you have to present yourself to other people. And resume is one of your pillars for your career, and it's a founding stepstone, I would say. So how you prepare it greatly affects for others to make an impression on you. Like one um, as see nowadays we're having online interviews and everything coming on online. So first thing the interviewer can see of your like your first impression is the resume, because that's what
Okay,
he sees first, and he reads it, and that's how he makes your first analysis. And
okay,
if like you ask suggestions, one suggestion I think I could give you is a lot of the common mistakes freshers do, even I did when I was when I was started doing this stuff, is copying others. Like okay, what this person has in their resume, okay, that looks fancy, let's put that in my resume. And asking people like fancy words, fancy sentences, and try to put that in our resume. And I highly suggest you to not do that. Like be as honest as possible, because honesty is the best policy. Now since you're freshers, maybe it kind of changes once you become experienced, you will learn automatically. Since you're freshers, uh, it makes a huge impression if you be honest.
okay,
uh, your honesty makes a better impression than fancy words in your resume. uh, and I also suggest you to make an outline for your resume, like what are your skills and hobbies and your education qualifications. Those are not going to change, right? So
yes,
keep them as an outline, keep them as common. And rest of the things, your objectives or rest other things, whatever you want to put in your resume, constantly change them along with um, the requirements of the job you're applying for. And one of the things a lot of students doesn't do is reading the requirements of the job they're applying for. They mostly try to use the same resume for all of the jobs. Yeah. So that's not going to really help. So just read what are the requirements, what are the skills required, everything, and constantly try to change your resume according to the job. Yeah, that's that's what I would say.
okay. For getting a job, I know you have gone through a lot of written tests. Like,
Yeah, of course.
okay, could you suggest me how to qualify in those tests?
Uh, to be honest, written test is not the toughest part in
Hmm.
the whole job process. Obviously, you have to divide that into sectors, depends upon the job. No matter which job like which written test you're writing for any company, any IT company,
Okay.
there are obviously three sessions. One is like reasoning, and like
Technical, verbal. Okay.
yeah, it's everything like analytics and reasoning, and then there will be coding, right?
Okay.
So, you can practice the verbal and non-verbal stuff and reasoning and arithmetic things by like other stuff. RS Agarwal is a good source for practicing all these things. Just practice them. Practice makes you perfect, and constantly stay closer to the new updates, and constantly stay closer in Google or YouTube, wherever you feel like there is a source from something you can gain some knowledge. Just attract to them, stay closer to them, and constantly practice, practice, and practice. And coding, that is an interesting concept here. I think that is something most people find difficulties, because it's not an MCQ. When it comes to the coding, you have to write the code, and of course there will be MCQs related to computer language too. But since you're a CSE background, so it would be more helpful to you. But I'm non-CSE background, non-computer background. I'm from electrical. So in third year, one thing I did is completely focusing on how to write a code in a unique way, because one thing a lot of people doesn't understand is like, okay, I wrote the code, it passed all the test cases, so it's okay, it's fine. One thing they miss is plagiarism. You
Okay.
know, in that so many people lose. Okay, so try to write the code in a unique way, in a different way, in a shorter or longer. Like, try to think like what other people can't think of. Try to make your code in a unique way, and practice a lot on coding and computer skills and everything. That is the huge part. I think that's the toughest part. um yeah, to practice makes anyone perfect. Just stay closer to all those Google sites, or YouTube or Telegram. Use all the applications available to you, and stay close to new updates and new everything. And just stay connected to the people, and continuously meet people who already completed the written test, and ask them questions you're intrigued about. Just gain knowledge. Yeah,
So I know you have gone through the lot of interviews.
yeah,
So
of course.
to face it, what would you give suggestions? What
Yeah.
suggestions
Again, I
would you
said,
give?
I think, yeah, of course. Again, I said, like I said before, ELTS lab helps a lot for developing your communication skills. Once you're in interview, everybody mostly, like as a student, you mainly focus on technical stuff, right? Technical questions, technical stuff. That's just a layer of the interview that most of people can do good, and a lot of people perform excellently in that first round. But where a lot of people doesn't fail, or where a lot of people doesn't concentrate a lot, and uh, does the biggest blunder, is the communication skills. Once the interviewer is talking to you, they focus on everything about you, like how your hands are moving, how your face is moving, how you understanding their question. Even they focus on your listening, listening abilities, how carefully you're listening the question, and how in what way you're responding, like your construction of sentences. Are you being formal, or you being informal, or you being like casual? They notice everything. You just think that they might not notice, because every interviewer who interviews you doesn't like to be rude, and doesn't want to be rude. There is no gain for them. There is no point of being rude with us, so they will be pleasant. But they will notice everything. So you have to be confident, you have to focus on your body language, and you have to focus on what words you're choosing, and just feel free and be honest, and just doesn't think a lot. That's what I said. Prepare a lot before the interview, but while interview is going on, don't think anything. Just don't think anything. Just be honest. Just tell what comes into your mind first. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So, as a fresher, I think while you are having a first interview, so
Yeah,
is there any hurdles you faced while doing a face-to-face interview? While you are having any face-to-face interviews?
yeah. In my first interview, since everything is online this time, so I was very nervous in my first interview, and I didn't perform very well. Again, I said I answered all the technical questions they asked, but I was very nervous at the time, and the interviewer recognized that I'm very nervous, and he told me that don't be nervous. If you are going for next interview, just don't be nervous. Feel free. Because that was my first interview. That was like during the time of Corona and everything just becoming virtual. So
Okay,
I was very nervous, but it was pleasant. So my first interview was not a great one, and it's not a great one. But my second interview, I learned everything. Uh, when interview or written test happens, join a little faster. Join like 15 to 20 minutes before and do all those camera tests and uh, system tests, speaker tests and everything, and just make it okay, because during my first interview I faced a lot of system problems. So
okay.
just be casual, just be normal, do perform all the tests, and there is no need to be worry about at all. Just focus on the question they're asking and just give your honest answer. That's it. Just be casual and formal, like formally casual. That's it. That's
So,
enough.
thanks for sharing
And
your. Okay,
yeah, yeah. I also want to say that questions, uh, because everybody gets same questions, right? Everybody is going to ask, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What are your hobbies? So just try to develop your unique hobbies, okay? Since you're
okay,
already in third year, I think there is a long way for you. Not a long way, of course, a very short way. But in the meantime, just try to develop your own hobbies and just be honest about them in the interviews, okay? And
okay.
when they ask you about like what is your hobby, just don't say like reading books. Just explain like how much you love about books, or if your hobby is like reading books. For me, it is reading books is my hobby, and it's not like I'm not saying because it's fancy. It is actually. So when I was asked what is your hobbies, what is your favorite things, I said reading books and writing stories. And I didn't stop over there. I explained like these are my favorite books, like 1994 is the one of the first book I read, and that changed my life. So that's why I love books and about. So whatever your hobby is, just don't mention it and just be silent. Be excited about it, because it doesn't matter what your hobby is. What matters is how much you're interested in that hobby. So try to express that interest physically. And
Surely,
so
surely, I follow
yeah,
all
yeah,
your suggestions. Thanks you so much for
yeah,
sharing your valuable information with me. And also,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for spending your
Sure.
valuable time with me. Thank you, sister.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. I hope it's helpful, and best of luck. Best of luck.
So, I hope you had a great time with me. Okay,
Okay.
okay, then.
Okay.
Bye.
I had a great time. I think you also had a fun
Yeah,
time. So
okay.
yeah, let
Thank
us do
you.
this again once you cracked a good job.
Okay,
Okay,
sure,
bye.
sister. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.